Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you may not believe this, ladies and gentlemen, but try and hazard a guess what my previous song reaction was. It was Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Now, let me give you some context in terms of time works in my life. I first heard about the song Stairway to Heaven when I was about 9 years old, and I only listened to it for the very first time last night, 14 years later. Consequently, ladies and gentlemen, this song we're doing today, called You Suffer by Napalm Death, is a song I've heard about since I was 13 years old. When Chris Evans on the BBC Radio 2 breakfast show was going through a list of the shortest songs ever to be made, one of them was Her Majesty by the Beatles, and Napalm Death holds the prestigious honour for being in the Guinness Book of World Records for the shortest song of all time. It is a whole Don't believe it when it says that this video is 2 seconds long, because in reality it's 1 second long. But with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, I know I feel like I'm kind of like padding this out a little bit, but what exactly do you expect me to say or do? So in consequence, let's see if we can talk some more and make this sound even more padded out as possible. I'm good at doing that kind of thing. Now, it's important to know, ladies and gentlemen, that Napalm Death is a group from Birmingham in the UK, which is quite interesting because guess which other famous metal group came from Birmingham, or at least in the West Midlands? Judas Priest. And they've been going strong for nearly 50 years at this point. So you could immediately say that maybe Birmingham has got, maybe the Brummies have got something in them. Maybe they've got a bit of the touch of the this and that, and they can play the great music. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's not shoot the messenger. Let's actually give Napalm Death the benefit of the doubt, just to work out exactly what You Suffer is all about. Am I actually saying that? And as we are just about to begin, fully aware under the knowledge that this is the shortest song of all time, and I'll have to check honestly whether or not there's any other YouTubers out there who's ever done a reaction to this song. There may be one or two reasons why not, but if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, I'm saying that as well. We may as well keep it professional. Links will all be in the description down below. So let's begin. You Suffer in 3, 2, 1, and there you go. Right. Oh boy. Over-analyzing Napalm Death's You Suffer. It's a 2-minute 40-second video. That's kind of interesting that somebody out there can pan this out any more than I can. So, I think we were actually, you know what? I think we could learn something about this if we go through like the album cover. Now, apparently this is on the album called Scum, and I love there's a McDonald's logo. There's a IBM, Union Carbide, there's stuff like that. You get the impression that maybe this is just one of those those very comical sort of like Mickey takes sort of albums about society, something a bit like the Dead Kennedys, the sort of things that maybe they would do. And perhaps You Suffer is literally just maybe it's not so much suffering, but rather you suffer, and then but rather the suffering is quite short and can be just summarized in a very bleak turn of voice, like ugh. I mean, are there even lyrics to this? I'm actually, well, you might, surprisingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, there are lyrics to this song, and it is simply called You Suffer, But Why? Now, I don't know whether they said this all at once, because I don't particularly think there are lyrics. I'm going to have to play this from the very beginning again. I shouldn't be too harsh on this, because it came out July 1st in 1987. But I will never with you, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that this is apparently has gone unchallenged for, what is it, 34 years, and you can't, and there's been no song since that's shorter than this, is, I think, almost remarkable. Yeah, there wasn't a lyric to be said. And you know the funniest thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I've heard a story about the album Scum itself, is that it's only a 35-minute long album. Now, you might think to yourself, well, there are plenty of albums that are about as long as that, and some of them have stuff like Revolver, which has about like 11 to I think it actually has about like 13 songs in total. Some of them don't make the 2-minute mark. Some of them go for about 3 minutes. Some of them a bit 4 minutes. But it's what's important is the overall product. What exactly can you take away from something like Revolver, which came out, what was it, like 1967, I think? I have to like double check. But with that being said, how many songs do you think Scum by Naplam Death has? There are 28 songs on this album, ladies and gentlemen, and one of them holds the distinction of being the shortest song ever made. The next thing I'm just going to have to like put out there, ladies and gentlemen, because again, I don't know how I can make this video any longer than I need to be, is I honestly think I just straight want to take a look at how do I go about, like, because I think I would love to do nothing more than to do like a whole like album reaction, but do I do like individual songs, or do I just play the entire album? Because if this is, because I don't, because okay, let's be scientific about this. 34 minutes. So what's 34 by 60? Let's get the calculator out. While we have this time, because I've got nothing better to do. 34 by 60, that's 2,040 minutes. So divide that by 28. So 72 seconds. So on average, each song is 72 seconds. So that's a minute 12. A minute 13 because it's 72.8. So let's say on average each song is just over a minute in length. I honestly don't think there's even much point at that stage to think about trying to like do each song individually, because you'd end up like a video like this one. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, impressive, intimidating, groundbreaking, absolutely superb this table is. And unfortunately, well, if there's anything we have to go by, is that Naplam Death are no Judas Priest. Now, maybe that could change, because I'm not saying every group has to be like, like Judas Priest if they're from Birmingham, but I think the better thing to do is to check out the rest of Scum. Because if for no other reason, then I want to see how this actually works. I wonder if they're like varying styles, or whether or not it's just like the same sort of track played over and over again. Because now I feel a little bit justified in the fact that I can actually drop my mixtape and not take any shame in it whatsoever. Because let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, plenty of people do stuff, make music for very different reasons, and there are certain things they've always wanted to get off their chest, some things they've always wanted to put down to paper. With that being said, do you want to know what Nicholas Bellin, the guy who wrote this, and had to say about this? Well, technically Justin Broderick had this to say, so I'm just going to leave you guys with this. You Suffer was largely a comedy thing. 1 second song. Utterly retarded. It's ridiculous, but it was hilarious. We played that song in front of 30 local kids, like every weekend. We played that song 30 times. It was a laugh. For their Peel session, the band recorded a slower version called You Suffer Part 2. There's a part 2. I am actually I take that. And you're never going to guess what, ladies and gentlemen. There's a music video to this as well. I'm going to show you this, guys, just before we go. Now, you might be saying to yourselves, well, how could there be a music video to a song that's a second long? Well, this is the video. just some little kid jumping about in a room. I'm not even sure if I'm going to get copyright strike for this or not, because how can you copyright strike something that doesn't even fall under the guidelines of YouTube's broken system in the first place? How exactly can Earache Records get angry at me for this? Because I don't get it. We'll just have to wait and see whether or not that happens or not. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I've managed to just about make a 11-minute video about a song that is a second in length. That's quite impressive. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. How, you tell me. Please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below about the table, or if you want to talk about you stuff, go right ahead. And I hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Job done.